The Hopeless Fan Podcast. We have a great show for you today. It is Thursday, August 20th, 2020. Scotty, Shelby, Zach back at it before an action-packed weekend of baseball, basketball, training camp, football. We'll talk about training camp, maybe some Hard Knocks, still sucks. We'll talk about the NBA in both Boardwalk, and we'll talk about it separately with what we've seen as a big surprise thus far. Trevor Bauer dominates baseball. Thom Brennamen, yikes. We have a
Yikes.
We have Boardwalk, Zach's ERA play of the day, which is 500, 3-3-1 thus far. We have a chasing payments update, our guy. And then to top it off, we have Scotty and I going at it in Jeopardy, a loaded show. Scotty, how much training camp video have you watched thus far from Broncos camp?
Dude, too much. And you know what? Like, it's just so good to have something of football substance around. Like, right. I remember last year I would just blow off work. I mean, I would just multitask and go to Twitter and just literally just go through the reporters and see, like, oh, like, Lock threw a beautiful pass to Judy who created separation. I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, yeah, that's all I need.
Yeah, that was like today. It was like Auden Tate is back at it again. The Bengals tweeted out, and it was like he went up and made a jumping catch and tumbled to the ground. I'm like, well, does that mean William Jackson sucks? Because he just gave that up. And I'm like, now I'm kind of concerned when I should be happy.
How's the defense? What the fuck, guys?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, why is Joe Burrow looking good? Does that mean my defense sucks? This guy's a rookie. He hasn't even seen a preseason game. I was like, now I'm concerned, and now I just painted myself into a corner. But yeah, I was like, that's exactly what I did. The Bengals tweeted out DJ Reader, their big signee from the Houston Texans, manhandled the Bengals center, Trey Hopkins. And I'm like, oh, let's go. And then I'm like, damn it, now Trey Hopkins kind of sus.
Yeah, you can't get excited about your team doing well in training camp.
Against your other team.
Right.
But it's like, it's such a big, what?
Oh, so keep going.
Oh, it's such a big mind F because, you don't know whether to be happy or sad about it. Zach, any training camp video for you on the Ravens so far?
No, I haven't watched any of it.
Wow.
Hard Knocks, season episode 2, season 18, I think. Episode 2? I don't know. Still sucks.
Still sucks.
Yeah,
I didn't see it. Sorry.
Okay.
Love the drop in Rex Ryan.
Drop in Rex Ryan, let's go eat a goddamn snack. That was I did laugh at that part watching it the other day. That was literally the best part because it was more of...
And Andrew Whitworth, smoke show. Or not Whitworth.
What?
Did I say Whitworth? I meant Aaron Donald.
Pause.
Oh my
and I was
God.
thinking, Andrew Whitworth though. I mean, low key.
Well,
that's not the guy. That's not the. He's the marry and fuck, marry, kill. That's for sure.
Yeah. But I thought Zach was going to be like, oh, Andrew Whitworth, like, touching story about how his wife and kids got COVID. And instead he's like, Andrew Whitworth's smoke show.
Aaron Donald. Bro, his body, bro. Damn.
Scotty, you didn't miss much because we had more of that annoying Rams cornerback.
Oh my God. I'm
just
so glad I missed it.
Dante.
I don't know. I don't want to know his name. But it's just like he's mic'd up and he's just laughing all over the field. And it's like, oh my God. And there's another, like, 7th round linebacker that, like, gets mic'd up and he's just, like, the most boring dude ever.
Fudge.
He says fudge and he's like, he acts like he's Luke Kuechly when he's not.
Oh,
he's
God.
like,
and he's like, I totally whiffed on every single one of those plays. Like, yeah, it's probably why you were drafted in the 7th round and not going to be here.
Never going to know your name.
Right.
Wave him.
Yeah, elsewhere, the Chargers, it was another, like, okay, we've done a lot more. We've done too much COVID stuff. Let's get
boring.
Let's get a 2-minute montage of Justin Herbert throwing the ball.
That was making a sweet trash can shot.
That was Justin Herbert's intro, was him making a trash can shot, but he didn't yell Kobe, which is kind of like,
Did it look good?
How do you shoot
It's
one?
the younger generation, man. What are you going to do?
Hey, did he look good, though?
Herbert looked good.
He looks good.
The film that they gave.
Now you want to talk about smoke shows. Jared Goff's girlfriend.
Oh,
man.
My God. Jared Goff had a pretty cool setup in his backyard where he was like, I was going to build a basketball court, but then I was like, there's too much chance of getting injured, so I made it into a golf hole.
Yeah.
So he chips in from the top of a hill by his house.
Oh, fuck that guy.
Off a cliff onto the green. It's pretty cool.
It's like, how many hole-in-ones? He's like, how many hole-in-ones have you had? Oh, like, so many. So, like, how many? 10.
Yeah.
Is that a lot?
But Jared Goff does strike me as super boring.
Yeah.
And he also has a male roommate.
What?
Did you notice that?
Is that his brother?
No. It said So it introduced his girlfriend. Like, he was chipping in. He was shooting his golf shot. and sitting at a table next to where he was shooting was his girlfriend and this guy. And it said underneath, it was like Jared Goff's girlfriend, and the other guy was Jared's roommate.
How funny would it have been if it said Jared Goff, like Rams quarterback, Jared Goff's roommate, and then instead of saying girlfriend, it said Jared Goff's beard. Do you know what that means? Oh, a beard is like a gay guy's like fake girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's what they call that.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
I looked up Jared Goff roommate, and it said Cooper Kupp. How fucking savage would it have been to just refer to Cooper Kupp as Jared Goff's roommate?
But yeah, that was really weird. I'll do a quick Twitter search for Jared Goff roommate, and why does Jared Goff have a roommate? Good tweet, Nick. Urcolano. So there you go. That's the only tweet I see from yesterday.
Yeah.
But I had the same exact question. LA housing prices are so ridiculous. Jared Goff and Jalen Ramsey need roommates. Jalen Ramsey's house was pretty sweet.
The potential house.
Potential house. That's true.
And then he'll get paid even more. Jesus.
Smoke Show 2.0, that realtor.
Yeah. So that was basically Hard Knocks.
I learned everybody in LA is beautiful.
Yeah,
that's basically
everyone in LA is beautiful,
including Andrew Whitworth.
Everyone in LA is beautiful. COVID and Justin Herbert throwing the ball, and the coach for the Chargers. Why am
Anthony
I blanking
Lynn.
on his name?
Anthony Lynn?
Anthony Lynn saying that
boring.
Justin Herbert, that was the biggest football controversy, was that Justin Herbert's cadence was more excited when he got to throw. And then when it was a run play, he was like, Blue 42, said hut. When it was a pass play, he's like, Blue 42, said hut.
Yeah.
Like, he was excited to throw, so his cadence was off. And they're like, see how Tyrod does it? You can't even tell. And Tyrod Taylor's like, Blue 42.
Or is it just because he's depressed because he plays for you? The one other thing I will mention is if you close your eyes and you listen to the Rams head coach,
Sean McVay.
See, I'm blanking on the other one. You close your eyes, you start to hear John Gruden.
Shit.
He sounds a lot like John Gruden.
Well, he coached underneath John Gruden.
Right, I know, but the accent and all that's like, it's that Midwest Ohio kind of.
I've been on that.
I thought Jared Goff and Sean McVay were just like in love with each other.
Yeah.
Because like he was like, Sean McVay was like, Jared Goff like repeated the play, and Sean McVay's like, why'd you repeat the play? He's like, I just wanted to reassure the offense was on the same page. Sean McVay's like, I love that.
I fucking love
that. God, love that. And I'm like, chill.
They'll go down together.
It's like you just invented a COVID vaccine.
They'll go down together with my Rams under bet. Hey, guys, before we move on to anything else, I knew the date today, the 19th, and I should have, stopped you when you started the pod. What?
The bet.
It's the anniversary of the podcast. Yesterday.
Oh,
our very first.
Yesterday, August 19th, 2019, our very first podcast was released. And yesterday, we had a podcast released from Monday, so we hit the date.
Nice. I love that. And
sorry, I didn't even see the episode.
Yeah, exactly. I was in the mood. But this is also the anniversary of the bet.
Yeah, and this is episode 90.
Oh no, the bet was yesterday, and we taped the pod that night.
Yeah, well into the night.
89.
This is episode 90.
And Zach, I wanted to clear this up for you because every time you watch a Reds game, you think that Freddie Galvis was the one that screwed you, and it wasn't him.
Who was it?
Josh Van Meter.
It was Van Meter?
Yeah, Freddie Galvis homered in that game, but it was like in the third inning.
Oh, okay.
But it was in the ninth inning when Van Meter hit a double to score a run, so that added. A run was like 2 hot dogs, and a double was like a piece of pizza.
Yeah, I was like, if anything else happens, we're done.
Yeah. When the Reds added a double and a run at the bottom of the ninth, what would have been another slice of pizza and 2 more hot dogs proved to be too much. Here's what Zach Beasley ended up consuming: a Caesar salad, 8 hot dogs, cinnamon bites, nachos with cheese and jalapenos, piece of pizza, pulled pork sandwich, side of chips.
And I had that weird pita sandwich thing.
Oh, that's true.
Remember that?
Guys.
I miss.
Hey guys,
remember when everything was normal? Remember when everything was
normal?
I know,
right?
We were going to Reds games and like training camp was like fans were allowed there and fans were allowed to be in the
preseason football.
Season.
Hey guys, get ready for something.
What's going on?
I just did some research. On June 23rd, we had episode 74.
Yeah.
And the episode before that, on June 18th, we had episode 72. There is no episode 73.
There is what happened was that we had a duplicate like episode like 1 or 2 or something like that, and I didn't catch it until we got to 70 something. So the count is correct now.
It's like a Bernie Mac Mr. 3000.
But we also only have 88 total episodes on the iTunes Store.
Have you downloaded the most recent one?
The release August 19th. Yeah, I hope so.
All right, let's move on. All right,
Not to get too much inside
NBA bubble surprises / predictions. What has surprised you guys as each series has kind of gotten going?
The Mavericks have surprised me.
Yeah?
The Mavericks. They only got to win one more game.
True.
And I can't wait to win some more money. Luka last night also under... So I can push to 6. Yep.
Oh, right.
So I can push to 6 games. If they win, I'm going to be kicking myself that I didn't take plus odds on the 7 game. But Luka also last night surprised me by going under 30 points.
Yeah,
so right before the game started, I saw it 30 and a half. I said,
Yeah, as far as casino nights go, yesterday was up there because I think I went 4-1, and then Luka's miracle hit for you.
My ERA play of the day though kind of brought me down. Yeah, 26 points in the third quarter, ends with 28. What?
But yeah, the Mavericks are surprising. The Mavericks did better when Kristaps Porzingis was off the floor in Game 1, because I see a lot of people saying if he didn't get ejected Game 1, it'd be a 2-0 series. The Mavericks obviously surprising how bad the Clippers played, and Paul George got slandered on the timeline last night. I missed that.
He caught that Danny Green smoke.
Yeah, so I wonder who that'll be tonight. God, I'm really intrigued by that Portland-LA game. Scotty, any surprises for you in the bubble thus far?
So the thing that surprises me mostly is just from like a betting point of view. Like obviously, like teams winning and losing. Like the Lakers losing, I guess that's surprising. The Mavericks going 1-1, I guess. But everyone knew those were going to be tough matchups for both the Clippers and the Lakers. They knew it. Like Portland's playing out of their minds. They have people healthy that they didn't have it earlier on in the season. And the Mavericks have 2 superstars, and a future MVP in Luka. So I really don't think it's too surprising that it's 1-1. I still think the Lakers. I think that Zach, that's a good bet for it to go to 6 games. But the thing that surprises me.
Thank you.
That's what it's made it's really hard to bet is like before in the bubble where these seeding games you're like, okay, these are easy because it's like these teams should win, there's nothing on the line. But now all of a sudden there's like the moment effect. It's like, oh, like how are they going to play in this moment, in this situation of like it's 1-1? Well, they can't go down 0-2, right? Where they very well could, and then they could like the Lakers could go down 0-2 and then just win the next 4, and then no one will be talking about it. But like
it's not like LA is losing the first 2. If they were to lose tonight, it's not like they lost them at Staples Center and have to go to Portland now.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, if you remember, LeBron, it's a similar situation with the Pacers in that game when he was in Cleveland. That series,
the Heat.
No, the Cleveland Pacers
you're right.
series where it went to 7 games. In that Pacers, that's just Bogdan or
Brogdon,
whatever his name is, he was just lit off the Henny, and LeBron, rose to the occasion. So we can still see that. It was only 2 years ago.
Right.
So,
and I think a lot like why the underdogs have been like dominating too is like you think of a team like Milwaukee, where what do they feed off of is that home crowd. Yeah. They lost like 3 games at home all year, and they were like 8 or 9 games above 500 against the spread at home.
Yeah.
And when they don't have that, it's like these underdogs are so house money.
Yeah. Same with Denver, man. Like that the altitude effect.
And exactly. And Denver, that series is surprising to me as I look at the lines for tomorrow. It's like Denver they lost by 19 yesterday to Utah. They won game 1 of the series and covered in overtime.
Yep.
They obviously could have not covered.
Were they 1.5 point favorites now?
So they went from 4.5 or 4 game 1. They were 4, and yesterday they were 4.5, 4, and now it's dropped all the way to 3. Or 3 points to 1.5. So real quick, it's all the way down to 1.5. But then you look at Boston, Philly. Boston
-5,
-6 game 1, -6 yesterday game 2 without Hayward. Now it's only down to -5.
I saw it at -4
like
earlier.
Yeah, they're -5 right now.
So I guess it's a big thing with like Phillies I mean, as desperate as you possibly
It's
can
got to
be.
be
3-0 is a death sentence.
And that's what I'm saying. It's the situation. It's like that moment of where they're desperate, so it's only going to be minus. You know what I mean? Like whereas
I'm still putting $1 billion on Boston because Philly looks like dog
Philly
shit.
does
dude,
look like
Josh
dog
Richardson
shit.
though. Remember when Philly when Ben Simmons went down and Philly played the Blazers really close and
Yeah, they beat them. I thought by 2 or lost.
they lost by 3 and we covered because it was Blazers minus 2.5 or something. Or you covered. I think you had them in Boardwalk, Shelby, or something. But
I gave you that pick, and you messaged me when it didn't look good, and then didn't say anything when it won.
is that what happened?
Scotty move.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, Portland minus 2.5, and they won by 3.
Yeah, exactly. I think I had it, and I was
34.
pissed because I was like, "Fuck!" But that's why I said it. But I don't know. I mean. The 76ers still have some ballers, dude. Tobias Harris, Josh Richardson, and Embiid is good enough to win a game against the Celtics. For sure. I actually like the 76ers +5 here. But that's another discussion.
The Celtics were crushing shots last night. They were especially that second half.
Well,
they came
It
out
just looked like Philly died.
swinging.
I mean, they
Once
were
Boston
up.
made that run.
Philly was up 24 to
Yeah.
9 or something. Like
Yeah, something like that, 15.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like once Philly got on the ropes, it was like Joel Embiid was forcing up shots. I mean, nothing went right for them. And like Boston, even their bench players were going off. So yeah, that's interesting. It's going to be like, Philly's not going home to their home arena in front of their fans to juice them up, and that's what the big thing is. Usually, is like you see huge line moves the first 2 games of a series, and then that team that's up 2-0 goes on the road, and the line just moves like crazy because there's energy now from that underdog down 0-2 going back home, but you don't get that energy. So this will be the first time we see teams down 2-0 in that situation, and Boston's the only team in that scenario playing tomorrow. All the other ones are 1-1. Denver, Toronto, Brooklyn, and LA, Dallas. So, yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on.
I think that's the only sweep that we could potentially get would be, I think, maybe Miami could sweep Indiana, but I think the most likely to sweep would be Boston at this point.
Well, yeah, because there's only 2 series that are 2-0, right?
I'm surprised the Clippers are still -5 against the Mavericks. To me, it should go down another 2 points or something. But
we'll see.
PG
Yesterday was the first time Luka Doncic has ever had a positive plus-minus against the Clippers.
Wow.
Let's go to baseball now. Trevor Bauer, king of Kansas City, went back to the field where he threw the ball, infamously threw the ball over the center field wall when he was pulled from a game in his last start with Cleveland. Shoves against the Royals. Worked out for us because we had a live under. We had the Royals under 2.5 team total.
Hey, Shelby, what else
under
happened
7
that day?
live game.
What else happened that game, though?
And we'll get to that. Thom Brennamen, canceled, done. See you later.
Stick a fork in him.
Auf Wiedersehen. L'chaim.
Fucking pasta.
Thom Brennamen. Yeah,
pasta.
dude. So the hot mic stays undefeated. Sometimes a hot mic gets you saying, like, I cut my skyline instead of twirl it around the fork. This time, it got Thom Brennamen dropping the F-bomb.
And not the one that he would have been just an FCC fine for.
Exactly. So, Thom Brennamen, longtime Reds broadcaster, Fox already said he won't be calling
NFL.
Calling the NFC football game at 4:00 between the Buccaneers and the Lions, because that's usually what games get on.
Nathan was crestfallen, by the way.
Yeah, our good friend Nathan, who joined us at the casino and should be on the pod soon, he was worried.
He was going through it.
He was going through it because we've all grown up with Thom Brennamen. He must love him. I never really,
Yeah, since 06.
I never thought he was the greatest announcer, but yeah, Thom Brennamen.
He's had his moments,
we'll
but
see
he's
if
also
he gets
had
fired.
terrible fucking moments.
Terrible moments, and his terrible moments outweigh
Yeah,
the
it
good
really
ones.
does.
Including last night. So he's suspended right now by the Reds. We'll see what
Deep
actually
drive to
happens.
left field.
Yeah, and there's a drive by Castellanos. But yeah, that was one of the most unintentionally awkward, funny moments. Is in the middle of his apology, Nicholas Castellanos hits a home run into the judgment-free zone in left field, sponsored by Planet Fitness. I mean, you can't even script that,
dude. That's what I was saying. That's what I'll bring up later on my boardwalk. It's like, dude, it lifted the Reds' curse of just shitty fucking baseball. I think it's just and he's out of here. That ball is literally
right,
Thom.
We'll move on from that. There's really not much to say except
we
cancel.
also.
But
I interrupted you earlier about the bets. What we had on that game that we hit.
It's all right. We pretty well covered it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Zach. Maybe I've taught him something. Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, we cracked that to go up 3-0.
Maybe I've taught him
right?
something.
Yeah, it was as soon as the Reds got up 3-0. Zach's like live under.
I looked over at him and I said live. I didn't unprompted.
Yeah, he's like live under, and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Go do it. Get one. And he ran. Well, he ran over to the terminal to make the bet, but then he ran back to grab his cigarettes first, and then waddled over. But he still got the bet in.
And maybe that was the timing that I needed. Maybe like if I had gotten there too many seconds too soon, we wouldn't have gotten it at 7. We would have got it at like 6 or 6.5 or something.
True.
Not that it ended up mattering.
Yeah.
Because
you got the bet in before the next batter's at bat was over.
Right.
I think it was Mustakis struck out or something. But yeah, sharp play by Zach. And then I had and Nathan had the Reds, Trevor Bauer to shove the Royals team total under 2.5. Never really in doubt. So yeah, good wins by all. Good night at the sports book. All right, we'll move on. Talk about a guy who is no stranger to the sports book.
Near and dear to our hearts.
Yeah. It's our good friend Chasing Payments on Twitter. He's
Fucking
back at it
fire,
again. I
dude.
mean, he's absolutely
Who needs Martingale?
Well,
at this point?
unfortunately,
Exactly.
he's not betting them all. He probably should be though.
We've gone a long way since the fuck Helen Keller of yesteryear. That was back in August 11th. 9 days is a lifetime for a gambler, and you just go to @ChasePayments and you can find out why. So he went a week without tweeting. Bam! Hits us with August 18th, so that was Tuesday.
Yeah, he's got to wait till he's got more credit.
Yeah, Tuesday goes Rockets pick 'em. They kill the Thunder. Probably could have done. They got to repeat that one. And then I mean, I don't know about you guys, but the best part about his Twitter account is when a bet wins of his. Because when a bet doesn't win, it's just like he waits a week and he's back at it. When a bet wins, he drops some some great content. So a lot of pussies out there talking. But can't hear what they're saying in this astronaut suit. Off to watch this game on 48 giant screens in the NASA control room. Rockets headed straight for your ass. Forecast is bright and sunny. Thunder don't make an appearance. And it was for the first time, too, he addressed people that, comment on his tweets that say, oh, thanks for, letting me know what side not to take. Automatic fade. Because there's a million of them out there. He says, the guys telling me thanks for the free win, OKC it is, on the Houston bet, are the type to choose the urinal right next to you. They leave the shopping cart right in the middle of the parking stall. Imagine being so butthurt at your $15 bets that you root for a stranger to lose. Clown emoji. So,
dude, the content is good. This is original good content. This is a comedian.
And so, I mean, we've touched on Martingale, but it's basically, if you lose your first bet, you double up on the next one, and you win. Once you win, you'll have a profit. It's great unless you go 0-7, 8, whatever. And I've used it in roulette.
Well, if you have an unlimited amount of money,
you'll never. I mean,
and this guy, he might, or at least an unlimited amount of credit.
He very well could. But he went Martingale yesterday. So yesterday at 10:24 in the morning, your morning coffee and toast. You look up and Chasing Payments is at it again. 10:30 in the morning.
You old rascal.
10:30 in the morning, which makes me think he's not on the East Coast. But Nets plus 7.5 in the first half of yesterday's game. So the Nets they played the Raptors, right? Yeah.
If I were a betting guy, which I am, as we've well established, I would.
Yeah,
he seems like a Central Time Chicago guy. If I had to bet, I bet he's from Chicago.
I'd accept that. But anyway, he goes Brooklyn first half plus 7. That obviously hits because they were winning by 3. Mm-hmm. And then, so he didn't even have to go for the other ones. But in hindsight, it works out because Jazz plus 2 first half against the Nuggets, that cash is easy.
Yep.
Celtics minus 2 first half against Philly, easy. Clippers minus 3 first half didn't hit. So 3-1, profit out the moon. Easy 600 on to tomorrow, folks. Taylor's, you know where to meet.
Yeah, why?
With the Japanese flag.
Why is the
weird.
Japanese flag here?
Benihana. It's always Benihana.
It's always Benihana.
Oh, no fucking way. That is so
It's always
fucking
Benihana.
good.
You should have seen me when I connected those dots.
Sorry, ESPN ad. Yeah, so he messaged me and said, looking forward to the next update, which we're doing now. That covers the last 3 hits of plus 9,091, plus 9,091, and plus 600. We are definitely all getting laid. Not the fuckers that eat Beyond Impossible fake ass vegan meat though. Fuck them. So I mean that's how. I mean how do you even top that?
How original can you actually get?
Exactly.
Grab those testicles.
If you woke me up in the middle of the night, like, Shelby, I just had a dream that Chase Payments DM'd you. What do you think he said? I'd probably come up with something similar to that. Like, probably something about, like, people who drive electric cars and eat, like, Impossible Whoppers at Burger King. And then you're like, yep, you nailed it. And then we have more today, by the way.
He's he's hit 2 out of 3 so far, with the Bucks killing the minus 7.5 first half. That's his third bet on the Martingale, but he already hit he hit his second one, Shelby, if you want to review it, but he's 5 for his last 7.
So simple enough. 10 a.m. Pacers plus 2 in the first half. That didn't hit because they were down 5. But no matter, because you martingale it. First half, Thunder plus 1 against the Rockets. They were winning by 4, so easy. And then you don't really need anything else. I mean, he gives great picks, but since it's martingale, Bucks minus 7.5 first half looks great. It's probably already hit, actually, if that game's at halftime already. It's already in the third quarter, so that hit by $1 million. So, talking about someone who's inferno, it's Jesse Winker with the Reds, the smoke shows on Hard Knocks, and Chase Payments. Yeah. And then, of course, when he wins, sometimes we get a fantastic tweet, preferably from about his wife, because it's like the bread tweet was electric when he was trying to save 50 cents, but then went full send with a 10 grand.
Now, anytime he tweets about his wife, he has a baguette in the tweet.
Yeah. Wife, are you gambling? I froze. Was she on to me? What the fuck? Let me enjoy my $600 day. I could only come up with one response. Sorry, babe, you're cutting out. I have bad reception here. Wife, you're literally right in front of me talking face to face. Fuck it, LFG.
With the bread emoji.
Hey, guys.
Chasing Payments. When he wins, we all win because the content is A+.
Yeah. And Chasing Payments, the dude needs to know we've been following him, and we've seen the dark days, and now it just makes the winning, especially with him taking those 3 months off probably with COVID, all the more sweeter. So welcome back, and we're glad we don't have to see the the requests for more.
I want to go back and find out the episode where Scotty first discovered him.
Yeah, that's true. But basically with Chasing Payments, if you didn't love him at his Rhode Island plus 11 at Dayton, where they were down 19-0, and you didn't love him at your Rudy Gobert props the day after coronavirus, if you didn't love him then, you don't deserve him at his Rockets Pick'em / Martingale perfection right now. So I think we've earned that, and we've earned the content that comes out of it. All right, moving on. Before Boardwalk, real quick, Zach's ERA play of the day is 3-3-1. So exactly 500. It's just got to be above 500 to win $20 against me. So what's your play today?
And I had a lock earlier, and then COVID comes along with its big swinging dick.
It'll do that.
Fucks me in the ass. It was Mets and Marlins. It was 9.5 somehow.
Yeah, because the pitching staff's bad.
Yeah. So I had to change it up. Ended up going with the Dodgers Mariners. The under in that game.
8.5.
8.5.
Locked in.
Lock it in. It's in. It's there. We are golden. Let's get back on the. Let's get back in the black here, huh? Let's get out of the red.
All right, we move on to Boardwalk. Some updated standings. First off, I'm 0-1 already. You guys are both want to know. Houston covering by $1 million. I took the over. Fuck. All right, but going into today, Scotty 22-13-1.
Yes, sir.
22-13-1. I'm 19-16-1, and Zach 18-15-3. So all of us are making money on this show. If only we just bet our Boardwalk pick.
I'm proud of myself.
Really. Moving on. First game, since we already have OKC Houston, game going on right now. I guess we can just say our picks and not really, really don't have to handicap a game not about to start and try to convince anybody. But Zach and I are on Orlando plus 12.5. Scotty on the Bucks to bounce back at minus 12.5. And now
do we want to say why we chose those, or are you just?
I mean, you want to go ahead. Go ahead.
I chose the Bucks just because I didn't think Middleton was going to suck that hard again. And
he might.
I'm pretty sure that, I mean, Giannis, I'm pretty sure that game was just just going from last year, I don't know how they did game 2 against the Raptors last year, but they beat the Raptors as the 8 seed against the 1, and then the Raptors I think they sweep them after that.
Well, it's looking good right now with the Bucks up 18.
Yeah, they're
37-19. And we actually have a problem because my lock was the under in this game.
Yikes.
That I wrote down, and which is looking good.
Yeah.
But my Orlando plus 12.5, not at all. So we'll move on to the next game that actually hasn't started yet, and that is probably the biggest game I would say that everyone's going to be watching. That's why it's primetime. It's the Lakers needing a win in the bubble first-round series. They're down a game to the Portland Trail Blazers, the 8-seed Lakers. Still a 6.5-point favorite with an over-under at 230.5.
Hammer that plus 6.5, dude. Come on.
Really?
You guys on Portland?
No.
Oh, hell yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. But Zach, go ahead and explain your reason.
Zach?
That's fair. The Lakers are playing like trash, and I think until they find a way to get a good rotation where LeBron and AD are on the court the least amount together, I think that they're not going to find success against Portland or any other team in the second round if they hope to make it. I think that they play a lot better. So you brought that up previously, I think. Was that you?
What?
With that AD and LeBron play better when they're not on the court together?
I
you
did.
think that the Lakers do better?
I said that.
Yeah, Scotty did.
Oh, Scotty did. Okay. Yeah, I fully agree because I watched some highlights from that game 1, and goodness me, I think that
Goodness me.
there's too many cooks in the kitchen, so to speak. You have a captain and a co-captain. You can't have two, on a plane. So I think that.
Yeah, and I lean Portland just because it's like you're waiting on the Lakers to be like, okay, play like the number 1 seed, and it just hasn't happened yet, except maybe the opening night against the Clippers. So maybe they turn it on. Their problem is they don't have a reliable number 3 scorer. Caldwell Pope was awful. Danny Green couldn't shoot the 3. Anthony Davis disappeared in the fourth quarter, and LeBron is too passive.
Well, they're also waiting on.
It looks great. It looks great when he has a triple double, but they don't need him to have 15 assists. They need him to take over.
Well,
I mean, I hate to pick apart a game, but like there were a couple times where he's a freight train running down the middle, and he kicks to the perimeter to shoot a 3 with Danny Green or someone, and it's clinic. Doesn't help LeBron couldn't shoot free throws, and him and AD went 0 for 4 on back-to-back minutes. But go ahead.
That tweet where it had LeBron in the Philly jersey with the 3, and it was like, Simmons drives, kicks out to James. James drives, kicks out to Simmons. Simmons drives, kicks out to James.
But anyway, I will go for the under. It opened at 226.5. It's all the way up to 230.5.
Oh!
And it's still at 230.5. So
that.
I lean Portland plus 6.5. I flip-flopped on it just because you want to ride the hot hand until it fails. But with an under that moves up 4 points, and with the Lakers not being able to score consistently, this will probably bite me in the ass because it'll be the game the Lakers go off, cover, everything will be jolly in La La Land. But Portland, we talked about how bad their defense was, and they held the Lakers to 93 points. So I got to go with the under. LBJ too passive. AD is on a milk carton in the fourth quarter because he disappears. And LA with just that third scorer. I still think they could play pretty solid defense. You see Damian Lillard gets double teamed as soon as he crosses half court most of the time. But yeah, give me the under 230.5. Scotty.
Yeah, I'm also on the under 230.5. I think that's easy. I have a spread as my bonus, but I'll keep that analysis until later. I think the Lakers are still waiting for Kuzma to kind of be like that third scorer you're talking about, and he's just not providing that spark. I mean, he does it in like once every 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, I thought it was game 1 where he actually came in, and that's when the Lakers went on the run and went up by 6 points, and then just the wheels fell off at the end. I thought Kuzma played a good game 1.
Yeah, but
I'd like to see.
He's not consistent
he's
enough.
not reliable as a I know. But it was just that brief 5-minute stretch with the Lakers. I think they went up by 6 before Portland went on a massive run to end the game, and it was because of Kuzma. He was making great plays, but it's not consistent enough.
The Lakers are still the only team not to average 100 points in the bubble, And
right.
I mean, they proved it.
What makes them deserve an over/under at 230?
It's just because they think it's just I think the book. Since the book still has the Lakers at -6.5, and the Portland Trailblazers are just known for chucking up threes, they're thinking the Lakers are going to have to keep up with Portland if they're going to, and then that's, I think, subsequently is going to reach that, close to the 230. But I don't see it. I think I don't see it going over, even if the Lakers win or when they win. I don't see. I think it's they play good defense against Portland rather than keep up with them.
Yeah, I don't think, like I said, this will probably bite me in the ass because the Lakers will go off offensively, but I don't see Portland scoring 120 against the Lakers.
Right.
I think they play good enough defense. Right. Final game before our bonus and locks, even though Scotty and I have each revealed a bonus. Well, I have. Scotty hasn't. He teased it. We'll go to baseball, and we'll go on the diamond to our favorite teams, the Reds and the St. Louis Cardinals, kicking off a 4-game set, I believe, in St. Louis. Over/under at 8.5. The Reds a slight favorite, a pretty decent favorite actually at -150. Scotty, start this game.
Yeah, I'm going to say, and Shelby, you are correct. It's a 4-game stint, but
okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the over 8.5 runs here in the game. I think yesterday the Reds went under in both games in 7-inning games, and they had their 2 best pitchers on the mound. It could bode well that a lot of that their bullpen got to rest a little bit, just because they only had to use one. In the first game, it was Antone who relieved Sonny Gray, or who relieved Castillo. I'm sorry, and I just think that it doesn't matter with the Reds bullpen; they're trash anyway. So I don't think a day off will do any good for them anyways, or a couple days. Actually, since the 14th, since Friday, they haven't pitched. So they're healthy arms, but I still think now that Thom Brennamen's out, it was almost like that we talked about earlier, relieving that Antichrist. As soon as he was being relieved, fucking Castellanos just fucking smokes one out of the fucking yard. So I'm pretty sure that was just like a metaphor for the Reds are back, and they're finally the curse is lifted. And so now the Reds go off, but the Cardinals do too, and Reds win 27-17.
Take the over is what you're saying.
I would actually. You said the top 2 pitchers through yesterday. I would say Castillo is the 3rd best at this point.
No, I agree.
I agree. Yeah, Sonny Gray tonight. I'm going St. Louis on the money line, +125, and it's kind of, I hate to be a Zach guy. I think the Reds, they've been okay against Adam Wainwright. He's the best pitcher with the Cardinals. Reds throwing their best guy. The
Sonny
total's
Gray's
pretty
tonight?
high. Yeah, Sonny Gray's tonight.
I should have known that. Why did I know that?
So, the 2 best pitchers on each squad are throwing tonight, but I have to take the Cardinals because the Reds are must win, and that's such a bad handicap. And I know Zach likes to fade his favorite teams because they need to win, but I'll do it here. Zach, your pick.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, are we into bonus and lock? I'm so sorry. I was locked in on.
We're at Cardinals, Reds.
Cardinals, Reds.
Over under 8.5, and then close money line.
Under 8.5.
Okay. Yeah. Sunny Gray Day.
Yeah, Sunny Gray Day. Under 8.5. I've never been burnt by a Reds under before.
Well, we had a pretty nice time doing that yesterday. All right, now we're to bonus and locks. We're at bonus and locks. Obviously, you already heard my lock was the under, or my bonus was the under in Orlando and Milwaukee. Scotty, you teased it. Your bonus?
Yeah, I think the Lakers don't go down 2-0 to an 8 seed. I just don't see it. There's no way. There's no way the NBA lets Bron go down.
That's a good point.
There's no way the NBA lets Bron go down. I think it's a dominating win. I don't think Anthony Davis plays as bad. I think both Anthony Davis and LeBron James take more of an authority stance in this game. And I honestly, it seemed like in game 1, both of them were trying to open up opportunities for their teammates that just fucking bricked every shot, like Danny Green and Caldwell Pope. They should never be allowed to shoot again. And honestly, their third star, we all know who it is. It's Caruso. So, yeah, give me the Lakers -6.5 bonus here.
Okay. Scotty's bonus. You have my lock. Zach, do you have a bonus?
I do have a bonus. And my bonus is going to be the under in the Red Sox-Orioles game, 9.5. How did this happen? Is it a bad pitching night maybe? Wojciech, a Polish gentleman for Baltimore, Asher, something or other.
Wojciechowski, former Red.
Hey, there
That's
you go.
That's a good pick,
Zach, you sound like you're out of breath a little bit.
Well, I would just... Molly's being off mic. I had to...
That's a good pick. Those are two bad pitchers. Mm-hmm. Evaldi's good for the Red Sox. He's their best pitcher.
Well, he's got an ERA of 5.9, so... ERA play of the day.
Blindly looking at ERA. My lock, my bonus... The Dodgers are a minus 315 money line pick, so I have to take their run line. Minus 1.5 is minus 167.
Oh, you piece of shit.
Is that your lock?
That's my lock, dude. Literally written down Dodgers minus 1.5.
I love it. Say no more because Clayton Kershaw is back to being Clayton Kershaw. Last week, obviously, he came back from an injury, but last week against the Angels, 7 innings, gave up 1 hit. 1 hit. And the Mariners have never seen him.
Yeah, this is easy.
He's facing Yoichi Kikuchi.
He's 0-1.
He's 0-1.
ERA of 5.2.
He's battling a neck injury. Only one start. He's got at least 6 innings, so I think the Dodgers can get into the Mariners bullpen, which is, check my notes, second worst in Major League Baseball, worst in the American League. So the Dodgers run line with Clayton Kershaw, the old left-hander, is my bonus and Scotty's lock. So that leaves, Zach, just your lock.
Yeah, my lock. God damn it. I fucking hate this dog. Okay, my lock. Scotty, this one goes out to you, okay? I think that, I think everybody forgets Game 1 Nuggets Jazz, how that was just a score fest. Absolute off the henny. And this last game was so much under that now we're at, 218.5?
Yeah.
Right? Over. To the moon. To the fucking moon. I think over 218.5, that's easy. I think the Nuggets are out for blood, Scotty. They got embarrassed in Game 2.
And that's a tomorrow game.
Right, yeah, this is a tomorrow game.
Yeah.
Because we kind of ran out of... I'm sick and tired of my bonus and lock always having to be baseball because we run out of basketball games to talk about. So I'm going into tomorrow.
Mount Rushmore time, gambling graveyard, people who are dead to you, athletes, because they messed you up with money. Scotty, me, Zach is the order. Scotty, start.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a whole ass fucking team. How about we go with the Seahawks and Holiday? Is that his name? The tight end for Holiday?
Trendon Holiday?
Hollister.
Hollister, yeah, like the fucking clothing shop, fucking pussy. He looks
like
he lives in a
Hollister.
straight up against the 49ers. On December 29th. December 29th, 2019, I had picked the Seahawks against the Niners in San Francisco. Earlier in the season, that hit in overtime on a field goal. It was a dramatic game, and I was like, well, this is in Seattle, prime time. I give me the Seahawks again, and literally the fucking inch away from winning on the last play of the game.
So imagine the things that happen if Hollister scores. You have the Packers are the number 1 seed. The 49ers who went to the Super Bowl are a wild card. Everything gets thrown off on that 1 yard.
Yeah. On that 1 yard, I'm like, I'm a lot of money richer. Let's put it like that.
Well, I would have been a lot of money richer. Good way to put it. It was back in October, so I'm sitting there. I'm at the Bengals-Jaguars game.
Are you gonna take it? Are you gonna take my next one?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. I'm just killing the Bengals-Jaguars game because I'm betting live. Like I bet the Jaguars live 3 different ways. And Andy Dalton melts down. The Bengals offense doesn't do anything.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, and turns out I left the game when the Bengals were down 14. I didn't have this, but it was a big time hit for the over, 2 touchdowns in the last minute or something. But anyway, during that NFL Sunday, I have a teaser that I think is looking great everywhere. I mean, everywhere. It's looking amazing. And it ends up going 5 out of 6, and the one that doesn't hit, Dolphins-Bills in Orchard Park, and I had under 51. So tease 7 points up. It was under 44. Tease it up to 51, and going into the fourth quarter, it's 14-9. Okay, and go with 7 minutes left in the game, it's 17-14. So it's almost impossible. So Bills get a touchdown. It's 24-14. Dolphins drive down. 1:45 left. Touchdown by Fitzpatrick. So it's 24-21. I'm sweating a little bit. It's at 45. I have 51.5 or something. And Dolphins onside kick. If the Bills get it, it's over. They just fall on it, take a knee, they win. But no. Micah Hyde, with 1:38 left, catches the onside kick and in turn runs it back 45 yards for a meaningless touchdown. Game was over if he just falls on it. Instead, he scores, goes up to 52, 51.5, busted on the extra point. Just a brutal way, especially since I couldn't watch it. You think you have a winner, and then you look at your phone 20 minutes later, you're like, what?
You see Scotty like, bro!
Yeah, exactly. That was like one of the first times, and now it's happened a million times, where like, Scotty delivers bad news to the DMs, and I'm like, no, why'd you ruin it, Scotty? I wanted to disappoint myself.
Yeah,
but yeah, Buffalo, Miami, 2019.
Micah Hyde, to be exact.
Yeah, exactly. It's a gambling graveyard, so it's not the Bills or Dolphins. It's Micah Hyde.
Yeah.
And Scotty's is Hollister. All right, Zach, you have 2.
Marcus Mariota, week 1 last year. The famous "Can I get forward progress on that?"
That was week 2.
Was that week 2?
Yeah.
Well, anyways, yeah, that was just awful. I think it was the first time I actually laid money on a game. The first time I bet on a game, and it was all downhill from there. No, but yeah, that game was just tough. That was just ugly to watch too. It just wasn't even that fun.
Oh yeah, it was a rainy Thursday night in Jacksonville, and it was like, oh, the Jaguars might actually be good. The Titans definitely suck. Mm-hmm. They'll never go to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah. All right. Second pick, Aaron Rodgers from the NFC Championship last year.
Yeah. How about both 49ers games? I bet the Packers both times.
Yeah, that's true. I did not bet him in the trouncing earlier, but I said there's no way Aaron Rodgers gets ass raped 2 times in a row by the same, or 2 times in a season by the same team. Yikes!
All right, go to mine. It's another teaser because it was week 4. It was another. I'll never have another teaser in play when I'm at a Bengals game. So basically, checking the scores of the Bengals game, my teasers look good all the way around. I had 2 separate ones, and they both ended with one was Kansas City money line, the other was Kansas City -2 against the Colts. They were 9-point favorites. And the Colts went in, beat the Chiefs outright as 9-point dogs on Sunday Night Football. I had to hedge in the middle of it just to make like my money back. I could have won about $500 or $600. I ended up winning like 50, and that was just deflating because the next week I think was my worst week of the NFL season, and I'll get to that in my next pick.
Yeah.
So the gambling graveyard is Frank Reich for having a good game plan against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and dude, I honestly just have so many. It's hard to choose. Shelby, do you remember that teaser that we did? That you and me after a podcast last year. It was week 8, and you and me were like, okay, let's just figure this out. Let's just you and me like sit down. It was week 9. And we were like, let's just figure this out. We'll just come to terms with exactly what we want to do. Exactly. And we're like, and we got this. And we're like, Colts over Steelers? Easy. Didn't hit.
This is just a straight parlay, money line parlay.
Yeah, parlay. We're like, dude, 50 to win fucking $500. Are you kidding me? We're like, and it's like one, and it literally went 1 for 5.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I said the Dolphins were going to beat the Jets.
Yeah. To be fair, you did. I'm gonna say Jeff Driscoll.
But we took.
I'm gonna say Jeff Driscoll, from week 12 of last year, and you guys are gonna have to know that this is all previous, or this didn't happen a long time ago, I should say, because all of my bad beats, right, I try to block it out as much as I can. My 2 bets are gonna be, or my next 2 picks are gonna be Dak Prescott and Jeff Driscoll. One, because I bet -2 Lions against Washington last year, against Dwayne Haskins, who played awful, and still they won
and got a win, and then didn't take a knee at the end.
Exactly.
Because he was celebrating.
Yeah. Exactly. And my next one is Thursday Night Football. Anytime I bet I never bet Dallas games right, ever.
No, that's like a rule. You're not allowed to have the right side of a Dallas game.
Remember that Dallas Jets game?
Oh yeah, I died on that game. I died. I physically died. I wrote down my pick on my board, on my whiteboard, and underneath it I said, "For the love of God, please." And the Jets won outright.
Dude. Oh, I remember watching that with you, Shelby, in your room, actually. In bed. No, I'm just kidding. But, like, seriously. But,
like, did he have a car?
What?
Tell me more. Nothing.
Yeah,
Go
anyway. When Dak Prescott laid an egg against the Bears on Thursday Night Football, and Trubisky looked like a fucking Hall of Famer, I could just go this whole podcast with just saying how many times I bet 4 against the Cowboys and they fucked me. Against the Saints, I bet them to win, and they lost. I bet them to lose against the fucking Eagles, and they fucking killed the Eagles on Sunday Night Football, dude.
Yeah, there was like a 3-week stretch where I bet the Eagles on Sunday night. Dallas killed them.
37 to 10.
Then the next week it's like Thursday night. I was like, Dallas will kill the Bears. Bears kill them, and I'm like, okay, Dallas sucks again. I'm gonna bet the Rams against the Cowboys. Rams shit. Dallas kills them. It was like unreal. Yeah, I was never on the right side of a Dallas game. All right, my next pick. And I don't really have the greatest details on this. I just remember the 2019 NBA playoffs. I was so on betting the Rockets against the Jazz. Like, they were just killing them. And I'm like, I like one game won with the Rockets spread. I'm like, next game, I'm going to do the Rockets spread in the over because the Rockets score a fuckload of points. And garbage time, Rockets spread covers easily. And then Grayson Allen misses back-to-back layups in the final seconds that didn't mean a damn thing. Would have hit the over. Instead, the over loses by a point. Grayson Allen in my gambling graveyard. Zach. 2 picks.
I'm going back to the 5th. I think that was our first day back at the casino. It was a Wednesday. Toronto against Orlando. I took the over. I think it was like 222. And Kyle Lowry ends up having 8 points. Mm-hmm. So he's the highlight in this one. The final score 109 to 99.
Just didn't show up. Next pick after that is going to be actually Scotty.
Okay. Oh.
And I'll tell you why. Because you remember that Eagles-Giants game where Scotty's like, Zach, just lay all of that, like $300 or something dollars or whatever on the Giants. And then I placed it, and then it's like, oh shit, there's like a Category 5 Hurricane Katrina about to blow through the link.
Yeah, hand up.
What?
All right, that's a good one. My final pick is going to be Mitch Trubisky. And I think we were all on the Bears -3 opening night last year. We're all psyched for football. We're all psyched to be betting. We're all psyched on the under.
I remember.
We're all psyched on the under. The under wins by 1 million, but we need the Bears -3. And it was like never in that game were we like, yeah, we're going to win this bet. I just kept saying, a lot of time left. And the Bears offense just never did anything. They got to the red zone once. Trubisky threw a pick. The Packers win the worst opening night game ever. You had the Super Bowl, awfully low scoring. You have opening night in Chicago, awfully low scoring. Packers win 10-3 in LaFleur's debut.
It pales in comparison to the Bears-Packers opening game from the year before.
Yeah, which was electric.
Yeah.
The Khalil Mack game that they lost. All right, Scotty, last pick.
Yeah, so my last pick is going to be Trevor Lawrence. Because how do you go 25-0 and let me bet everywhere? And I was like, oh man! And literally throughout the day and the day before, I was just like, oh, I'll throw another 50 on that. No, throw another.
Oh no!
And I was like, oh, I'll throw some more because it's like 25-0. How can you even compete with that, dude?
Exactly. How can you be 25-0 and be a touchdown underdog?
Yeah, exactly. So I was just like, oh yeah, man. And actually, I think they were only +2. +2.5 or something.
Oh.
And
you are your worst enemy in those situations.
Well, thank God the over saved me and like made up for some of it, but
not you specifically, Scotty. Just you in general. Like you will talk yourself into.
Oh no, I know
the worst when you're that confident on a bet. Sometimes I hate it when I'm overconfident on a bet because
then it means it's probably going to lose because you're looking at it like a square.
Yeah, but if you can get like. If a bet makes you feel so cool that like or so like confident that you can feel like amped about it, that's when I feel like really good about it, and then usually those don't hit, but like you still feel good in the moment.
Clemson was 5.5-point underdogs.
Okay.
And I think they were winning by 10 at one point.
Yeah, like early on.
Yeah, because that same game I had a teaser that just needed Clemson to win, and it was still alive until Trevor Lawrence fumbled on their last drive.
Yeah.
And a meaningless fumble.
And this is the national championship game. Obviously, I didn't even state that.
Right.
But 25-0, you lost. I mean, that's a good wrap up. And I took a hiatus from betting after that, a legit one.
Yeah. You're talking about just throw another 50 on that. That was me Pittsburgh plus 2.5 against Cleveland on Thursday Night Football, the Mason Rudolph game. And, like, I couldn't even get into the controversy of Mason Rudolph versus Myles Garrett because I was so upset about Pittsburgh. I, like, woke up the morning of, and it was, like, Pittsburgh plus 2.5, even money. And I'm like, oh, my God, no math? No math? 75 wins 75? Done.
Right.
Yes, please. Yeah, so that was awful. All right. Last segment. It's Jeopardy time.
Jeopardy time, and look what I found. I found a website where you can create a board.
There
you don't
go.
have to write it down. And I just click on the tile, and it just flips over to the right. I can keep track of the score in here.
Well, that's cool. Show me the answers. Aren't I just the worst?
You scamp. All right. Who is ready? Here, let me change.
Can we have the segments?
What's that?
Or can we have the
yeah.
the categories?
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely can. I'm going to type your names into here. Shelby and Scotty.
Oh, that's me.
All right. Are you ready, Scotty, for the segs?
Yeah.
Categories?
Yep. Yep, absolutely. Zach's favorite Ravens.
Ooh. Okay.
Who gets a marketing degree?
Yikes.
Everyone is actually a pretty popular degree.
Yeah, I was going to say. I
Best,
specialized in it.
Best worst beers.
God.
What do you mean, oh God?
All right.
Don't be a slut. The year is 2008. Yo, running back is 2000 late.
Did you just steal all my shit?
No, well this one is
seriously.
This one is the best fantasy football running backs from the year 2008. And then my last category, Thom Brennamen's LGBTQ plus Hall of Famers. It's just all historical members of the LGBTQ community. They're not that hard, I promise.
Okay, so
I'm gonna need this repeated.
All right.
So you only have 5 categories, not 6.
Oh, okay. Well, that was the template had 5. So.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Wish you want to follow the rule. Zach's favorite Ravens marketing degree. What's the third one?
Best worst beers.
Best of worst beers.
Best worst beers.
Best worst beers. Okay.
Mm-hmm. The year 2008, Yo running back is 2000 late, and then Thom Brennaman's LGBTQ plus Hall of Famers. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's get those DMs.
Let's do it.
Poppin'. Ready to start throwing heat. Okay, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 47.
Scotty, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, bitch.
24.
Alrighty.
25.
The number was 33. Scotty.
Yeah, bitch.
It's a strategy. All right.
That's why I picked half of 47.
The year is 2008. Your running back is 2000 late.
4.
What's the name that we're putting in the chat?
Mustard.
Okay.
800. Okay.
It's a weird number to pick off the jump. Oh, not 1,000? You going through it, Scotty?
Yeah. 2000.
Alrighty.
800 for 2008. 8.
Alrighty. Basically, I just give you a hint, and then you have to just guess what the running back for this team was.
Shut the hell up and get to the
2008.
point.
Okay. San Francisco. All right, we have Shelby rang in.
Frank Gore.
Correct. For 800.
I'll go because that's obviously incorrect. Who is Frank Gore? Piece of shit.
All right.
Do you want me to keep score or you?
I got it.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Thom Brennaman's LGBTQ plus Hall of Famers for 800.
Why did this category only have 800 points in it? All right. Coming out in the 1990s, this comedian blazed a trail in showbiz for women and members of the community.
What? Repeat that?
Coming out in the 1990s, this comedian blazed a trail in showbiz for women and members of the community. Shelby rings in with mustard.
Who is Ellen DeGeneres?
You are correct, sir, for a clean 2,600.
Thom Brennaman's LGBTQ plus Hall of Famers for 600.
This mathematician helped crack the Enigma code for the Allies in World War II.
Ah, damn it! Such a good movie.
The answer is not Benedict Cumberbatch.
Ah, that's what I was going to say. Ooh, that's such a good movie.
All right, Scotty, you've got 10 seconds because I'm not going to let you look it up.
not doing
9, 8, 7, no, okay. He's got no guess. You, Shelby?
No.
All right, Alan Turing.
Yeah, damn it. All right, 400.
This Olympic athlete made her transition in the mid-2010s and suffered on a reality show with a bunch of insane people.
I'm blanking, dude.
Seriously?
I know it, and oh, okay, got it.
Okay.
Who is Bruce Jenner?
I don't know if I can award points because you just dead named her. Caitlyn Jenner. No. 3,000 points for Shelby.
Finish it off
And
for
now he's canceled.
Finish it off for 200.
Why don't you let me know how Thom Brennaman's doing, dude? All right. This California politician was portrayed by Sean Penn in his biopic.
Why is this the hardest one?
The easiest one, you mean?
No.
Oh, it's supposed to be easy. I don't
know.
I know. I think like this one's pretty easy. Unless I guess if you haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, I don't know it.
You haven't seen this movie? Or Scotty?
No.
Any guesses?
Just say it so we can get this
All right.
category over with.
Oh my god, okay. Harvey Milk.
Literally, that could have been a fucking $1 billion question.
Yeah, seriously.
That is the Oscar-winning movie.
All right,
Okay.
the year's 2008. Your running back is 2000 late, though.
All right, for how much?
1,000.
1,000. Atlanta. Shelby rings in with mustard.
Who is Michael Turner?
Whoo! Throwing heat. 4,000.
Same category, 600.
600. Chicago.
It's fucking copy-pasted.
Shelby rings in with mustard.
Who is Matt Forte?
He is correct. What was that? 600, right?
Yeah.
Already forgot. All right.
400.
Are you ready to type, Scotty?
Sure.
All right. Carolina. Shelby rings in with mustard.
I didn't ring in yet.
Oh, it said 801, and we already... Okay, but Scotty rings in with mustard.
Who is D'Angelo Williams?
Is that right? Did I write this name down wrong? I wrote down Jonathan Williams. Was I looking at two
We're
names?
thinking of
Literally,
Jonathan
it's two-
Stewart,
those
but
are
it's
two
D'Angelo
running backs.
Williams.
D'Angelo Williams. Yeah, D'Angelo Williams. Yeah. I must have been looking at two names. All right, that was 400.
All right, finish the category.
Minnesota. Shelby rings in with mustard.
Shelby, you're copy-pasting it, you fuck.
No, he's not. He's
Zach
typing.
can hear me
I'm watching
typing.
him type. Yeah.
Who is Adrian Peterson?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Zach's favorite Ravens for 200.
This wide receiver was drafted out of Michigan State University in 1997 and caught Steve McNair's 300,000th passing yard catch. Scotty rings in with mustard.
I don't know. Derek Mason.
You are correct, sir.
What was that? What was
200.
That? 200.
200.
Still 3 categories left to choose from.
Who gets a marketing degree for 800?
This you. All right, hang on. The U.S. was governed by a different document prior to the drafting of the adoption of the Constitution in 1789. What was it called?
Oh God, dude, just fucking.
I just made them all history questions.
Just say the answer.
The Articles of Confederation.
So this motherfucker doesn't do a whole ass category and it just makes a whole history section that no one will get.
Yeah.
Shelby will get some.
Great.
All right.
This set up for success for me. All right, go ahead.
What's
Go with
What's
1,000.
yours? For that same category?
Yeah.
All right. The last president to not be a member of the Democratic or Republican Party was elected in 1850. Who was the president or the name of the party? All right. Shelby rings in with mustard.
I don't know the president, but what is the Whig party?
That's correct.
Okay. Stay in the category for 600.
The U.S. dropped 2 atom bombs on Japan. Name either one of the bombs. He rings in with mustard.
What is Little Boy?
Fat Man and Little Boy. That was 600, right?
Yeah. Same category, 400.
Oops.
Anniversary of that was just recently.
You're not wrong. All right. Who is the only president never elected to office? I think he zoned out for this one.
Who is Donald Trump?
No.
Oh,
Are you serious?
Oh, I thought you meant like who wasn't previously elected into something.
Oh no, there's one president who was never actually elected. Scotty, you got a guess?
Yeah, wasn't it Truman or something?
No, that is incorrect. From minus 400.
Oh yeah, okay, never mind.
Gerald Ford.
Michigan football player.
Mm-hmm. All right, board's still yours.
Yeah, I finish it.
200.
Shelby's getting swole. You want to finish that or go to a different category,
Same
Shelby?
category,
All right.
200.
Who was the third president of the United States? Shelby rings in with mustard.
It was Thomas Jefferson.
You are correct. 6,600. All right, where are we going?
Best worst beers for 1,000.
This pale lager packs a wallop at 5.9%, but it needs to pack flavor instead, especially coming from a historic brewing city. Scotty rings in with mustard.
What is Budweiser?
There's a city called Budweiser?
If it's brewed in the city, that's what I thought you meant.
Oh, no. Incorrect. Any guesses?
Nope.
Milwaukee's Best. All right.
800.
800. You would probably be shocked if I told you this beer was brewed in Golden, Colorado and not a bathtub in Philadelphia. Its key ingredient might be piss. Shelby rings in with mustard.
What is Keystone?
You are correct.
600.
How much that was for 800, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This beer has its own day of the week. This beer has its own day of the week.
I don't know.
Any guesses, Scotty?
No.
Referring to Natter Day. Natty Light.
400.
This beer is arguably Anheuser-Busch's greatest travesty. It's just their shit beer line. I'm just taking like all the the shit when you think of a shit beer. Scotty rings in with mustard.
Oh no, Busch Light.
Here you go. Where are we taking it, bud?
400.
That was 400.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 200.
Don't sound too excited.
Exactly, dude. Did you die?
This 4.
These suck. I don't know any of them.
This 4.2% beer brewed in Colorado has Sam Elliott as its spokesman. Shelby rings in with mustard.
What is Coors
You
Light?
are correct.
Banquet beer. Zach's favorite Ravens for 1,000.
This DB, a lifelong Raven, is one of the few players remaining from the Super Bowl winning roster after Yonda's retirement.
Oh my god,
Might be the only one.
Shelby.
Might be the only one.
Ooh, I might be wrong.
Shelby rings in with mustard.
Who is Jimmy Smith?
You are correct.
800.
Running away with it. This tight end caught 73 passes for 765 yards and 6 touchdowns in a franchise historic 13-3 season. Scotty rings in with mustard.
Who's Dennis Pitta?
Incorrect. Any guesses?
Who is Todd Heap?
You are correct. Was that 94? All right.
600.
Though he started with the Broncos, this D lineman had his career high sacks in a season at 17 in the year of 2014. Scotty rings in with mustard.
Who's Elvis Dumerville?
You are correct. Get you back into the black. 200. We'll go ahead and finish out the category. This Ute recovered the Manning strip sack in the Mile High Miracle game.
This what?
Ute. Utah Ute.
Ah.
Did you ring in with mustard? Is that you there?
No, I didn't. I don't know it.
Scotty?
I don't either.
I'll just throw a guess. Doesn't count if I'm right.
Okay.
Paul Kruger?
You're correct.
Ha. Damn it.
All right. Shelby wins with a resounding 9,400 to 200. Is that our show?
That's our show, and I just like to point out that I love that you didn't do 6 categories. Your marketing thing was all about history, and there were no daily doubles.
Right.
I love that.
Or
But I
Final
had
Jeopardy.
a sweet board. Well, we haven't done Final Jeopardy in a while.
True. Is that our show?
That's our show.